Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Live from the Workshop. Apologies for the late start, we had some technical difficulties and before that I was in the middle of washing up because I know how to time manage, so that's yeah. Oh well. Yeah, who's in the chat room? It says I've got 8 of you watching, so that's nice. Hello everybody, welcome. Thanks for bearing with me, and I'm sorry the stream on Tuesday never happened. Basically what happened was I went to pick up my beloved from work and the car battery failed while I was sat outside in the car park. So that's no good. Right, first things first, the project name is wrong. So let's change that immediately to Dalek Maintenance. Hold on. How do you spell maintenance? I've got no idea. Hold on. Fail bell. Hold on. Maintenance. There we go. Yes. Maintenance. There we go. Oh dear. Who's in the chat room? Jonathan Middleton. Hi Matt. Hello. Five Nights at Freddy's Vision. Hello. Yes, I remember you. Of course I do. The film is joining us. Con. Hello. Discordia Chaos is here too. Hi everybody. Nice to see you. Right, so what we're going to be doing today. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Daleks, because I know that's the only reason you lot are subscribed to me, really. Let's be honest. But before we do that, a bit of an update on the coach, which we were working on in the last instalment. Let's flick over to the close-up camera. I'll show you what I've done in the meantime. So the first thing that's obvious is there are now buffers on the end of it. The teak paintwork's come out beautifully. I gave it another coat off air. That's looking quite nice. I tried to sand down the glue bits, but it didn't really work, so it's just going to look like wear and tear, which I don't mind. It's got buffers now, which I painted up in black. And there's a coupling hook on each end as well, which your chain goes round. And then inside you can see, I decided against the painting, but I've done it in the teak colour as well. And the other new thing is that there are now windows. It's just a little bit of perspex that's been stuck in. And a little bit of detailing has gone on in that I've put the little bits in that look like the window drop. So yeah, that's coming together. The next stage is to fit 2 of these things, which will be the running boards for the coach. And then we fit the axle boxes, and you just push the wheels in there, like that. And then that will all be glued onto the bottom. A little bit like that. So we'll probably do that in another stream. I'm not going to tackle that this evening because this evening is all about Daleks. Because, you know, I do like pandering to my fan base. I apologise for my appearance, by the way. I am a hot mess today, or just a mess. Actually, there's nothing hot about it. James Perkis joins us in the chat room. Hello, James. Do you like my Doris photo? Yes. I subscribe to you because I like probably everything you do on your channel. Aww, you are literally the only one. I'm joking. I'm sure there are more of you out there who like me for more than just my Doctor Who stuff, and that is gratifying to know. Okay, sorry, just catching up on the old social media messages. Okay, my mum and dad are not joining me, so that's kind. Rude, frankly, rude. They've just started watching Stranger Things, which we've started watching as well in my house, so that's cool. Do like Stranger Things. I can't believe I missed it for like 3 years. It's a great show. If you haven't watched Stranger Things, check it out. Make sure you're age appropriate though, because it's quite... What is the rating for Stranger Things? Hold on a minute, I'm going to Google this. Stranger Things age rating, here we are. It is... either been rated 12 or 15. So yeah, if you're over 15, I'd say check it out because it is a great show, really great show. I thought this was Tea Time with Matt. No, different channel. Tea Time with Matt has its own channel now. And for those of you who are new, this is a new thing I'm doing called Live from the Workshop. where we basically just have an hour or two chilling out, and I'll do some crafty or creative stuff and have a chat with you guys. So, let me begin by just getting some music playing. I've got some more Screw Love in the background, so let me just throw on the headphones and get that playing just gently in the background there. Here we go. Of course, I've immediately picked a song that doesn't kick in for the first few seconds, so I won't be able to hear what's going on. Oh, there we go. There it is there, lovely. There we go. I'll have that about half volume so you can kind of hear it, but also hear me talking still. Stranger Things is an excellent show. I've nearly finished watching season 2. I think we're on the last couple of episodes, me and Victoria, so we've still got to watch that. In my engineering class, I'm doing a sweet dispenser. Doris the Dalek will enjoy that. Aye, nice. Budding engineer in the chat room. I don't consider myself an engineer because I'm nowhere near talented enough. I'm an amateur engineer, if anything. Right. Let's not dilly-dally, let's look at some Daleks. Our first Dalek may as well be the one nearest to us. It's the one you all love. It's Dalek Monty. Here we go. Swing him out into the work area. So what I'm going to be doing this evening, folks, is kind of showing off the Daleks, giving them a bit of a dust, checking the batteries are all working, and yeah, because if they're being used for filming or anything, I need to know that they're in tip-top working condition. So yeah, that is what tonight is going to be all about. So let's have a flick to the close-up camera and tilt that upwards just to start with, so you can have a proper look at this little guy. This is Monty. He is an Ironside custom Dalek from the 18-inch voice interactive models. So the easiest way of testing them, simply switch them on. There we are, you can see that's working. If I flick him on here, and the voice interactive ones do something a bit different. Takes him a minute just while he's... So immediately we've got a couple of issues, the first one being this light here. Now the lights on the 18-inch ones just pop off like that, and Monty here has always had a bit of difficulty in that the light fitting doesn't on this side doesn't quite sit right, so I do have to kind of manhandle it a bit when I'm... There you go, he's not happy with me at all. Dalek?
Yes?
Exterminate.
I obey. Dalek unit engaging silent mode.
I'm pretty sure that's not what I asked you to do, mate, but we'll roll with it. Right, so he is working. If you bang him on the head, they do things. Yeah, there you go. Dalek, silent mode off. Dalek, silent mode off.
I obey. We are the supreme beings.
Yeah, so you saw a bit there, his dome turning sounded a bit sluggish as well. I think, is his light working now?
Out.
Yep, both working. Good, good. Okay. So that's test. Yeah, his head turn was a bit sluggish. So it may be that the batteries will need changing quite soon. Unfortunately, they do.
Yes.
I didn't ask you anything, Monty. He's going to get grumpy with me in a second. There we go. I'm going to switch him over to the non-interactive mode, which is this one. There you go. You see the gun stick lights up, so that's all working. And what I tend to do with the big ones, if I'm giving them a clean, I just use a dry cloth and just give them a going over, just to remove any dust or anything from the obvious areas. If I tilt the camera back down here and down a bit, you can see me working on the bottom section. It's just easiest just to brush them over with a cloth. It just keeps them a bit dust free. It means if I'm filming anything with them, they don't look quite so rubbish. Now, there are a few that in future episodes, without wishing to spoil anything, I might want to look a little bit dusty, but I will probably achieve that a bit nearer the time just by leaving them dusty. Here we go. Monty as well has got this really neat little custom thing that my dad made, funnily enough. This is his like utility belt, which appears to be riding up a little bit, so I'm going to try and move it down where it should normally sit. There we go, that's a bit better. Yeah, it should cover the, I don't know what you'd call them, like the slats, I suppose, would be the best term for them. But this is kind of riding up a bit on him. It's kind of worked its way in an uncomfortable location. The only thing missing from the utility belt is a little bottle, really, which the Daleks carried in the episode Victory of the Daleks. But I don't mind that at all. It's it's a minor detail, and I think this is awesome. Yeah, it just brings the model together. Originally, I only had him sort of with the camouflage paint job, and I thought he looked awesome. But just having the utility belt really does tie it all together, and yeah, just helps him look screen accurate. Right, so I've given him a bit of a dust with the cloth, and what I'm then going to do is just take a nice paintbrush and just do all the detail bits. So just brush the eye stalk, get in all the gaps there. It doesn't take very long to do each Dalek, just depends how fussy you are, and I'm not very fussy. It's just, they have got a lot worse than this while I've owned Daleks. So, this is just like a cursory clean. Paintbrush is good at getting into places like the gun stick because they're quite fiddly. You can't get in there with a cloth. So just do that like that. Brush the dust out. It gets in the corners as well. Just on the central section here. And you can just sort of go around the globes as well if you wish. I'm not going to be too fussed. Monty here is not too dusty, actually. He's weathering quite well. What's happening in the chat room? Must be an honour to have them Daleks. Kind of, yeah. Yeah, I really like this. It's odd how the episode was called Victory and all three standard Daleks die. Yeah, well, it was a victory in terms of they achieved their goal and the Doctor couldn't stop them. So I buy it. I buy it. Just tilt down here. Just spin him round so you can have a look at the back as well. You can see there's nice detailing on the camo belt here that my dad has actually got some string and tied it together with the little ringlets, and it does have a really nice effect. There's a little bit of patch here where the paint hasn't quite either gone on or has kind of worn away. I don't mind that so much. Thinking about it, it was World War II. You wouldn't expect a perfect paint job on something like this. It would have been slapped on it in a hurry, and especially given the fact that we are talking about a Dalek, they wouldn't have been really too fussed with the details. They just want to look passable, I suppose. So I don't mind there being a little bit of inaccuracy there at all. But I think overall, he looks pretty good. The music's still going. Yeah, it's still there in the background. There we are. Right, he's had a good dust. Right, so what I'll do now is I'll get his remote control out. If I can find it. Hold on. I think this one. That's the remote control there. Basic for the 18-inch ones. But if we switch over to the wide camera, I'll just spin him around this way. I can just check from this if the controller's working. So you've got the eye stalk up and down there. Seems fine. Left. Oh. No, doesn't like that one. Come on. Okay. Okay, that has decided to give up the ghost. Nope, that controller has literally just died. Never mind. Here we are. How many have we got in the chat room? 16! Talk, folks. Come on, talk to me. I want to hear what's going on in your lives. Right, so that controller needs new batteries. Not a problem. What I will do is I will set that to one side. I think these take the D-type batteries, like the little rectangular ones. But yeah, so I'll set that to one side, and I'll just have to remember to redo that at some point. Now I've got another one here. See if we have any more luck with you. Oh, hang on. Ah, yeah. This one's got a dodgy aerial. I think this one came with Monty, and has never quite sat right. But yeah, this one doesn't seem to want to play ball either. What's your problem, mate? It's not the controller. Hold on. It's might not be the controller that's the problem. Is remote batteries might be an issue. Let's try.
We are the Supreme Beings.
That seems to be working. So those two need amending. So I've got 3 remotes for each of the 18-inch ones, and they all work off the. Yeah, there we go. They all work off the same 3 remotes. This is the one that came with the Supreme Dalek, but it works Derek and Monty as well. So head left and right, like that. So we got full head rotation. Oh, try not to do that. Full head rotation. To the front and centre. Eye stalk up. Eye stalk down. Oh, there we are. We got full movement. Right, that's Monty done. So, anything you'd like to say to the viewers before you leave, Monty? Anything at all?
You will make a good Dalek.
That doesn't feel very in character for you, Monty. I've got to be honest. You're seeming a bit out of sorts, to tell you the truth.
I must exterminate all other life forms.
Well, we know the gun stick works. Monty, are you all right, mate? Do you don't fancy any tea or anything? Tea, cuppa? No.
I need orders.
Well, mine is milk and 1 sugar. I don't know about you guys in the chat room. How do you guys take your tea? Monty is taking orders. So yeah, what do we think, Monty? Any thoughts on the world situation? What do you think about coronavirus?
I obey.
You're awake in there. Monty seems very out of sorts today. Very out of sorts. Does not feel right. There you go. This is quite nice, actually. You can sort of achieve some really nice effects with the remote. You just a little bit of head twitching. Eye stalk up and down. It doesn't look too far removed from how they look on screen. Just a little bit of head twitching. Just gives them the twitchy, paranoid look. Unfortunately, you can't move these ones while they speak. So we see there, nothing happening while he's talking at all. Don't like tea, says Dr. Tyler. Oops.
Superior Dalek multi-spectrum scanning. Now engage.
Well, he's looking you up, mate. I'd better run. Cream and 1 sugar. Yep, no problem. Wayne, I love tea.
This unit
I see. We've got the Doctor in the chat room, apparently. Alright, Monty, I think we've had enough playtime with you for one day, so we're gonna pop you back on your shelf, if that's alright with you.
We are the Supreme Beings.
No one doubted
We'll
it.
make a good Dalek.
He's very repetitive. Right, come on, mate, back in your box. I'm just going to switch you off. There we go. Right. I don't really like doing this, but you can sort of click the head round a bit while they're off. I don't like doing it because it burns them out, but it's good if you want them pointing a specific way when they're switched off. There we are. And he will sit back there quite happily on his little shelf. If I switch back over there, you can see him in all his glory. He kind of sits just on the shelf by my desk there. And there we are. Right. So that's Monty taken care of. Which one do you want me to do next? We're going to work our way through at least the big ones this evening. I'll probably do the little ones another time, because there's quite a few of them. In fact, let me show you around. So, beginning over in this corner, we've got some 5-inch models, some 3.75-inch models, which aren't too difficult to clean. You just use a really small paintbrush. Then there's the flying machines, which do need a bit of cleaning. Derek in the corner over there, some more 5-inch ones. And if we swing that around so you can get a good look, there's the 12-inch Daleks over there. The Davros model, Silver Lady with her nameplates, not really relevant to Daleks, but just it's nice to know she's there. Some more 5-inch ones. That one's quite an interesting one. That's a custom one of mine. We might have a look at that a bit later. It's the Bluetooth speaker Dalek, which you can control from your mobile phone, and I've custom painted it so it looks a bit more accurate to how the Daleks looked in Asylum of the Daleks, because I really liked that colour scheme. It's not the best custom job in the world, but it looks alright. And we've got the Dalek Supreme there as well. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. So come on, which one do we all want to see? We've had one vote for Derek so far. Might end up being Derek in that case. Haven't seen him in a while. How's he doing? He's doing alright. He's quite happy in the corner there, guarding everything. So yeah, he's quite happy toddling off doing that, I think. Yeah, Joe, let's get Derek over. He's one of the bigger ones. We can get them done and out the way. They take the longest to sort out, really, so probably a good idea to get them done. Let's bring him over. There we go. It's the main guy. Let's switch you on. Right, let's have a check, see if his voice interactive bits are working. His gun stick's working, that's a good start. Both eyes working. Both eyes, sorry, lights are working.
Dalek unit status 100% efficiency awaiting input.
So again, the head movement a bit sluggish there, so we might need to change the batteries in him quite soon. He's not doing great. Derek?
Yes,
Speak.
understood. We are the Supreme Beings.
There you go. Matt, which was your first Dalek? I think... Wait a minute. I've still got that somewhere. My first one was this fella here. It's a 5-inch one. And I can tell you how I know he's my first one. Because the first one I ever owned has got a patch of arrow dye on the eye stalk there. If I switch to the close-up camera, we might have a better view. There you go. There's a patch of glue. Just, come on, focus up, camera. Focus up. There we are. No, not going to focus. Ah, webcams. Anyway, there's a patch of araldite just on the eye stalk there where it's fallen off multiple times and had to be glued back on. It's given him kind of a wonky eye stalk. But yeah, this was the first Dalek I ever owned.
Yes.
No one asked you.
I obey. We are the Supreme Beings.
Honestly. God, he's a gobby bugger. Anyway, yeah, this one does.
Yes.
Didn't ask you. I'm going to turn your interactive mode off if you can't behave. There we are. Right. Anyway, so yeah, this little fella does have a voice. Not a very loud one, admittedly, but he does speak. And actually, if we put him down on the desk here, we can can try him out while we're here. I need to work out which controller is on. That's one of these, I think. This one? No, not that one. I should probably label up some of these. Might find life a bit easier if I did. No, not that one. Not that one. No, it must be this one. I don't think there's any batteries in these. This one maybe? No. Ah, no, this is the one with the dodgy. Yeah, no, it's not the one I was thinking of. Well, I do have a remote control for that one, but it seems to have gone walkies. Or if it hasn't gone walkies, it doesn't have the battery. But yeah, anyway, that's the what I think is the remote control for this one. And that would. Alright, Gobby. Yeah, but yeah, he's remote control one. And you can see under the bottom there, he's got his little switches and his wheels. And that's where you change the battery. And then you've got the little remote there. I cannot remember how much he cost me. But he was relatively inexpensive, given he's only a 5-inch model. But that was my first ever Dalek. Alright, let's get on with dusting Derek here. Tilt the camera up a bit so you can see what we're doing. Yeah. Are you able to put photos on stream chats? If so, I would put a pic of Doris. I'm not sure you can. You could potentially chuck it in the Discord for Tea Time with Matt, which is... Hold on a minute. I might be able to chuck that on in the YouTube chat. 1 second. Studio, there we go. That's it. What got me into Doctor Who? Well, good question. What got me into Doctor Who? I honestly can't remember. I watched the classic series on UK Gold and the BBC when I was quite young, and I remember being quite enamoured with it. I think my dad's always been a fan, so that was probably an influence. My granddad quite liked it, and my mum. So my nan was never a fan. So yeah, I think it's a mixture of family members enjoying it and also me. Yeah, that's about it really. Like, I can't really say because I honestly can't remember, but it's just something I've always enjoyed. Can't find the way to share the Discord. Hold on. Where is it? I know you're in here somewhere. Discord Tea Time. Now, here we are. Invite people. Set it to never expire. Use copy button. There we are. If we go over into the live stream on the Tinterweb, should be able to... Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's the one. There it is. So I've just logged on to last week's one. I wasn't very bright. Evening all again. Hi Doctorus, you alright? There we go. This is the Tea Time with Matt Discord server. If you do want to send me any pictures or anything, chuck it up in there, and yeah, be more than happy to share your pics if you want me to. In fact, I might start a live from the workshop room on that one. Just yeah, for the sake of keeping things close together. So why the hell not? Glad you're back. Can't wait for more Dalek videos. Yeah, it will come. Don't you worry. We'll get round to it. Don't you worry. It will happen. Right. Back to Dalek maintenance. Let's chuck a close-up camera in. There we are. Unfortunately, not doing so well. Oh, how come, Doctorus? What's up? Talk to me. Tell us what's going on. Oh, few of you are piling into the Discord there. That's good. I don't think I posted about the stream in the Discord. I am really failing at promoting this show. Come on, switch over. Why don't you want to... There we go. God dear. Camera didn't want to change for some reason. Anyway. So, much like we said before, just rub them down with a cloth, just to do the basic bits. Derek's a bit more dusty than Monty was, so just rub around all the obvious bits with a cloth. I tend to use a dry cloth because electrics and water don't mix. So yeah, just doing with a dry cloth around all the obvious parts, and then grab a paintbrush and just dusting over. This one's probably better, to be honest. There we are. And just get in all the fiddly areas and just brush the dust out like so. I've had a bad day today. Oh, don't worry, mate. Tomorrow will be better, hopefully. Which Dalek was your most expensive one? Probably Derek here, because I got him not long after the Voice Interactive Dalek was released. I can't remember how much I paid for him, but in today's money it was probably well over 100 quid. I think it was a little less than £100 back in the day. It might have been about 90 something, but in today's money it would probably be a lot more, which is why probably why you haven't seen many toys that are this sort of extensive from the later series. But yeah, Derek's here is well over 10 years old and still works because he's been looked after. I've seen plenty of these 18-inch ones in really bad condition on eBay, but you can still pick them up from time to time. They're always listed on eBay as rare, but there's usually one floating around, I've noticed, so not that rare, clearly. But yeah, he was my most expensive one. Post a pic of Doris. Yeah, I'll have a little look at that and see if we can chuck it up on the old stream there. Ah, there we are. Photo of Doris. Cool, there we are. Save that. Probably chuck it up on screen here. 1 second. Here we go. That is Doris, everyone. Very nice. Very nice indeed. There you go. Yeah, do let me know if there's anything you want to ask me or talk about or rant and rave about. You know, content very much up to you guys. Apart from the actual workshop stuff, obviously. So getting the gun stick there with the brush, just brush it out, get in the plunger. And you're just literally sweeping the dust out, that's all you want to do. Like I say, I'm not going overboard with it, it'll just get dusty again at some point, so just brush the worst off and just try and keep him in a reasonable condition. And there we go. Have you considered getting one like Derek that has Dalek Sec. There's one of them floating around. Honestly don't know where I put it. I'm running out of Dalek storage space at the moment. Probably not. I think my collection's kind of bottomed out, unless sort of Character Options releases any new ones, or anyone else releases new ones that are not particularly interesting. Then I might buy one of the newer ones. But I think certainly the ones I've got at the moment have kind of run their course. I went through a spate of collecting models from the classic series a while ago, and there are a few floating around that I might keep an eye on. They're sort of the 5-inch ones that are a bit smaller, so I might do that. I wanted to get that Dalek, but I never got one. Funny. Oh, they do crop up on eBay from time to time if you fancy them. This one's never cropping up on eBay. Just want to make that very clear. If it did, it would be as seen on YouTube, so well out of everyone's price range. No, I'm never selling him. It's not happening. I did go through a spate of selling some Dalek models a while ago because I needed to eat. And the job market wasn't great at the time. There we are. I think that's the best we're going to do today for you, Derek. So, just make sure all his functions work with the remote control. Head swivel. Yeah, he's definitely sounding a bit sluggish. There we go. Yeah, he's definitely sluggish. We need to change his batteries at some point, I think. But that's not the end of the world. Right. Yep. Motor functions all working. Lovely. Derek, any words for the listeners?
We are the Supreme Beings!
So very much the same vibe as Monty, really. Getting some SMR vibes here. Yeah, kind of. That's not exactly what I'm going for, but yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, it's yeah. I've just noticed, I think, is that scratch or is that part of the moulding? Oh no, it is part of the moulding. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to say, poor Derek has got a bit of a dent under the eye stalk there. I'll move to the close-up camera so you can see it. Which has bugged me pretty much for years, since about 2012. I think that happened. I don't know how it happened. I suspect a landlady with a grudge may have caused that, but can't prove it. So never mind. But yeah, it's just a small. You can't even see it, look. But yeah, it's like a small little chip there. But in a way, it kind of adds character. So don't bother me too much. By which I mean it totally bothers me. Because, you know, that's my stuff. Don't go messing with it, yeah. Brah. Grumble, moan, whinge. Anyway. So, yeah, that's Derek, folks. I think my favourite episode you've done is when Monty took over your radio station. Hope he does another one. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. Dalek December. Dalek December was great fun. Fantastic in terms of being, you know, unemployed. I love that so much. Here we are. Right. There we go. I've just created a live from the workshop channel. So if anyone does want to pop in and enjoy that, that'd be grand. There we go. Right there. Okay. I've got a Doctor Who colouring book and was just colouring in the page which has Daleks in it. Nice! What's your favourite Dalek? Do you mean out of my collection or from the show? Because it's a bit of a... that's a really tough one. I think from the show, I love these bronze ones. You know, I think they were so iconic to start with because you had all the classic series Daleks, which were brilliant. And then when they brought it back in 2005 with this lovely bronze and gold colour scheme, it looks really, really nice. I think it's just taken that classic Dalek look and just updated it for the modern age, and it's still instantly recognisable as a Dalek. I just really dragged them screaming into the 21st century, and I think it's testament to the fact that the design is still being used today, with nearly 15 years after the show came back, and this design has still endured. It's still the default thing people keep coming back to when writing for the Daleks on the show. They're fab. They really are. I love these guys. Really great. So yeah, I think I've got to say bog standard bronze one's my favourite. And not just because I've created a character out of one. But yeah, I like them. I do quite like the original ones as well, the silver ones with the blue globes there. I think that's a really nice colour scheme. I've seen a few people do like 3D rendering of this design with the classic colour scheme, so the silver and blue, and I think that looks fab. I'd love to see that on telly someday. I recommend Dark Raven Productions' Second Empire series. Yeah, I like Second Empire. Second Empire is quite interesting. The comics are good as well. Really, really good read if you get a chance. Monty is my favourite one. Monty's great. I love Monty. Okay, come on, Derek. Let's put you away. Let's put you back.
You will make a good Dalek.
Yeah. I've heard the propaganda before. Come on, back in your box. We're not bringing the box in the corner. Right, which one do you want to see next? Let me know in the chat room. We could do Dalek Supreme next because he's one of the bigger ones, or we can have a look at one of the littler ones. What do you think? That song seems very loud. Oh no, it's fine. It's just chilling in the background there. Gained a load of new members on the Discord. That's fun. Do the Supreme. Okay. Golden Derek. Show the crowd me. Just done, Derek. Supreme Dalek next. Could you send the link to the Live from the Workshop channel, please, Matt? It's on the main Tea Time Discord. It's just a new text channel on there, mate. So if you're in the Tea Time with Matt one, then it should be on there. I might create one for Scratchwood as well. There we are. Sod it. Let's put a few new ones in. So we've got Live from the Workshop, Cult of Scratchwood. What other shows do I do? I think that about covers it, doesn't it? Tea Time Chat, the main channel, Live from the Workshop, Cult of Scratchwood. There we are. Have you seen his latest video about Multiverse Wars? Yes, I have. Quite enjoying that. I'm interested to see where he's going with that. It's an interesting spin on the original concept. My mum and dad have a dog called Monty. I like that. Screw, you're being very loud this evening, mate. Can you chill it out a bit? Yeah, I think it's going to be the Dalek Supreme, isn't it? Come on, let's drag him out. Now, the Supreme is not voice interactive, but as I understand it, the model is kind of moulded in the same way. So, yeah, much the same as the other two, just a quick wipe over with the cloth on the obvious parts. It's a little bit complicated by the fact he's got these kind of struts sticking out from him. They're a bit fiddly to get behind, but can be done. He's got the light globes kind of mounted up on little pedestal things. I just give him a wipe over again with a dry cloth and just remove any dust particles from the obvious areas. I don't know why, for some reason the Dalek Supreme seems to attract the most dust out of all three of the big models. I don't know why. The other thing that's irritates me a little bit about the Supreme Dalek is his kind of ball socket joint for the manipulator arm. It's very loose, so if I stick that there, it will stay up. If I just knock that down a bit, yeah, drops straight down. I've never been able to get that fixed, so what I do when I'm filming and I need him to have his manipulator arm in a particular position, I'll jam a staple in just under the arm here. In fact, if I switch to the close-up camera, I can show you a bit more clearly. Yeah, what I do is I get a staple and just kind of jam it in under there, just there, and just kind of hold the manipulator arm wherever I need it to be. But that's why on most of the videos with the Supreme, his sucker arm is usually pointed downwards. Kind of works, because let's face it, Supreme Dalek doesn't do any work. Why would he need to? He's got drones for that. Yeah, I got the Supreme second hand, so he's a little bit pre-loved, shall we say, a bit beaten up with a few dents and scratches on him that I didn't cause, which is interesting. Sorry, Doctoress, I've just seen your message. That's funny. Just going over with the cloth and getting as much of the obvious dust as I can. Do you want a photo on Discord of Matt the Dalek? Yeah, go on then, why not? Nickname that Supreme Lead as lazy as that is. Nice. I feel like possibly a couple of Scratchwood stories should include Matt giving the Supreme a name. Maybe I'll pitch that and just say, alright, give him a nickname of Red. Alright, Red. Unless I think of something a bit more snappy. I think of all the Daleks in my videos, the most Dalek-like is actually the Supreme here. I think he kind of despairs a bit how humanised the others are, despite the fact that he's starting to head that way himself. What got me to do YouTube? YouTube wasn't really a thing when I first got into it. It started off because back in 2006 I was at college. A friend of mine, Mark, had his own YouTube channel because we were both doing media BTEC at my local college, and Mark had started his own YouTube channel, so I gave it a go. One of the first videos I put on there was actually a video trailer for an audio series I was making at the time called Scratchwood, which was set in a railway station. It was like a sitcom come sci-fi come drama come mixed bag of everything. It was quite funny. I'd love to come back to Scratchwood at some point and actually do it properly and professionally, but I don't think it'll ever happen. And that's kind of where the Cult of Scratchwood gets their name, because that's what I named my model railway in honour of that show. So I put a video trailer for that on there and did a few different things on there. And then I kind of struck gold and started getting a load of subscribers when I did Dalek December in 2013. I'd been making kind of silly videos with Daleks for a while by that point, but that was sort of the first time I'd introduced like plot and character arcs. So I did that, and that's when the channels first started to get popular. And then that summer I debuted The Adventures of Derek and Matt, which was like the origin story for these characters. And it kind of exploded from there, and I got a load of subscribers from doing that. God knows why. I think you're all mad, personally. I don't understand why people think it's funny. I find it funny, but I have a weird sense of humour, so I can only assume you've all got a weird sense of humour as well. I've started watching Torchwood now. Yeah, that kind of was intentional. It started on the old UK Train Sim forums as like a bit of a joke about someone building a railway station on the site of Scratchwood Motorway Services in London. But it kind of developed from there into being this fictional town called Scratchwood, which was kind of a riff on Torchwood, and Torchwood did crop up in it from time to time. So yeah, it's not surprising you're thinking of Torchwood. Torchwood's great. It's all on iPlayer at the moment, by the way, if you're in the UK, or if you're not, you've heard of a VPN, right? You didn't hear that from me. I didn't tell you to go and use a VPN to watch Torchwood. Yeah, that would be illegal. As you can see, the Supreme is a bit more fiddly than Derek and Monty, just because he's got so many little jutty outfits, and he's also got like the extended neckline as well, and dust just gets everywhere. So he needs a bit more TLC than the others do. But again, it doesn't take very long. Just go over with the paintbrush, and he's fine. Okay, Doctoress, thanks for coming. You take care. Now have a think about which one you want me to show off next, folks, because I'll go through all of them, or at least the bigger ones if I've got time. How long will we be going? About an hour. I think that's about as good as we're going to get, yeah. Thanks for all your work, you've been very entertaining. Please create more material. I intend to, as soon as I get some time. Thoughts on a section of the Cybermen and the new Cybermen design? Really liked it. The show's kind of back to where it was at the beginning of the series because Spyfall was excellent. The show for me this series has kind of done a good. Hold on, angles the camera. Good, great. Meh, wiggle. Good, great. And we're currently on great. I really enjoyed Ascension. I really hope that they managed to land the finale because that would be perfection. I don't know when this special they're doing is meant to be coming out. Is that Christmas? Because the filming block was really late, early on. It's apparently the Daleks are back for the special. I don't know when they're going to show it. I can't think it would be the Christmas one because that's ages away. Yeah, I can't imagine the BBC would hang on to it that long. They'd be too scared of leaks. But yeah, like Ascension. As for the Cybermen design, I love the new design. It's very classic series. I love the classic series Cybermen. They have a really nice look about them. Yeah, really good. Okay, do the white one. Yeah, I like that. Donald or Darren. Donald. Do Dalek Darren next. Alright, well you guys battle it out. I'm just going to test the Supreme. There we go. Switching on. Right. Head movement. So he's sounding a bit sluggish as well. The Supreme also has a bit of a bent eye stalk, he came with that. It's meant to be like straight on. So if I drop him all the way down here, you can see the eye stalk kind of goes downwards. I kind of like that because it means he can maintain eye contact with the others. This is sort of him in the straight position, and what it's supposed to be is like in a straight line out that way. Like that, you can't really see that from there, but yeah. kind of like straight line at an angle like that. But it's got a very slight bend on it. Can I pop that out? Actually, I don't think I can. I don't want to really because I'll never get it back in. But yeah, there is a slight bend in the eye stalk. If I go to the close-up camera, I can show you. Yeah, poor Supreme here is a bit battle scarred, bless him. There we are. You can see there's a bit of a bend in the old eye stalk there. Yeah. Like I say, he was pre-loved and was bought accordingly. I think he came from Australia, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Possibly. I'll think about that. I'm sure I bought one from Australia. I don't think it was this one. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, like I say, pre-loved. These were a Tesco exclusive, I think. I think only Tesco stocked these in the UK. So, yeah, good find on eBay. This one. It's fine. Right, yes, anyway. I stalk. I think I showed this off on the last stream, but he's the only 18-inch Dalek where you can keep moving him around while he's talking. So you get a really nice kind of realistic twitching going on while you're filming, if you're clever about it. Yeah, see, that's nicer, because when you watch the Daleks on Doctor Who, they have kind of got that nervous twitch going all the time. So while they're speaking, they're never sitting still. So I try and incorporate that into the Supreme where I can. I don't do it too much because it's a pain in the backside to edit. You may remember last time I was saying you have to sort of film them sitting still with no lights then. So if you're really clever about it, you'll film some static stuff, which is what I do, and then I'll just do the odd shot where he kind of moves the eye stalk around a bit while he's speaking. So we'll keep him in his starting position, and then.
We are beyond the Doctor's reach. The Doctor cannot stop us.
So the last video I did, I think, was absence of the Daleks. And there is a scene in that where he's looking around over the Daleks. So he'll start talking. And what I did as a cheat was I kind of had the head rotate to the left, like so. And then left in there for a minute, cut away to another shot, and then cut back to him doing that and turning his eye stalk back to the original angle, and then cut back in the original shot, so I didn't have to do much work on it. What are you getting upset about? It's my computer firing up. The fan, don't know why. Had a super expensive on eBay. Oh yeah, these are. I remember watching one of your Dalek episodes. It had a Paradigm Dalek cliffhanger. Any future plot of that? Yes. The Adventures of Derek and Matt. That wasn't just a throwaway thing. That is a plot point. There is a point to that. I can't really explain more without giving away sort of the long-term game plan. But there is a point to that, and we will explore that in future stories. All good. All good. Yeah. Right. Just test the motor units. Oh. Smashing the coach up there. Yep, he's working. Lovely. Oh, I'll just kick my bin over. Failure bell. Right. Okay, anything to say to the ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dalek Supreme, before we pop you back in your corner? Wise are his words.
Now the Daleks are masters of Earth.
Yes, you said.
Behold the might of the true Dalek race.
He's really easy to edit because some of his phrases are really long. So if you've got a really long line of Dalek Supreme dialogue, you've got loads of different phrases to choose from in the edit suite. So, yeah. Any plans on Fallout New Vegas? Yeah, that's kind of died a death, that, hasn't it? The idea was going to be that I would film myself playing Fallout New Vegas, which is a mod for Fallout New Vegas, the Obsidian game. And I was going to film myself doing that and then kind of commentate over the top of that after the fact to kind of make it look like an episode of Doctor Who. Kind of never got round to doing it because I released about 3 teaser trailers, I think, for it over the course of several years. I just never got round to doing it. I might do it slightly differently someday, I don't know, I'll have to think about it. But yeah, that's going to end up being a lot of work, I suspect. But yeah. Maybe is the simple answer to that one. When's the new Cult of Scratchwood coming out? When it's finished. I have got some sketches written that I could conceivably film at some point, and I might want to do that over the next few weeks. I don't know. I haven't really. What was I going to say? Yeah, haven't really got an idea of what my schedule's going to be like for the next few weeks yet. So I'll have a think, see what I can do. Might be able to do something. A friend of mine is one of the developers of the mod. I got approached to do the voices for that mod, and I missed the message because I wouldn't go on the forum for months at a time, and I went back a couple of months after. Demegi is the username of the guy who kind of runs the team, and he'd sent me a message because he'd seen one of my videos and he wanted me to do the voices. But by the time I saw the message, they'd already given up on me, so that never happened. I did, however, release my own voice mod for that, so that is floating around on Nexus somewhere with my interpretation of the Daleks. There's also like a sound overhaul mod I put together as well, which does proper Dalek noises of the movement and stuff, and it overhauls the Cybermen too. I've ripped dialogue from the show for the Cybermen voices, and redone their footsteps so they sound a bit less thumpy and a bit more, yeah, just a bit better. So yeah, check that out. That's I think there's a trailer for that on this channel somewhere. What is your favourite cheese? Ooh. Gotta go with Stilton. Love a Stilton. Like a nice blue cheese. Right, what was the verdict on which Dalek we're going to do next? I think it was either Darren or Donald, wasn't it? So, yeah, make your minds up. You, back in your corner. No arguments, come on. You've been knackering the plasterboard. Better not be. There's a bit of damp coming in the corner here. Perils of the cellar, unfortunately, but never mind. We'll do Darren. Why not? Yeah. Darren, incidentally, was the second Dalek I ever bought, and I bought him at Collectormania Milton Keynes back in 2008, I think? 2008? That's about right. Right, his remote is one of these two. I'm not sure which though. One of these, so we'll keep those in mind. Right, move over to the close-up camera. Okie dokie. So, Darren here is a bit easier to clean than the others because he's a bit smaller, so you can do most of him, I say that, with a dry cloth. Again, the lights and the eye stalk and things are detachable, so you do have to be a little bit careful while you're going over them. But yeah, just a dry cloth around all the obvious areas, and then use a paintbrush to do the different bits. That's about all I can tell you, really. Okay. And once you've done that, just get in with a paintbrush and just brush the dust out like so. Much the same with all of them, to be honest. So just get in there, paintbrush, done, move on. Simples. Simples. The smaller the Dalek, the quicker it is. So, you know, I spent about, what, 5 minutes on each of the big ones, 5-10 minutes. And this is a little bit less. The paintbrush is just handy for getting in places like the neck rings and just getting rid of any irritating little dust spots. Gun stick's really handy having a paintbrush for, so if you turn it over this side and the arm out of the way, you can literally just get it all the way in. Just brush, do the same underneath as well. Just catches everything. Nice and simple. These all had good dust before I moved them over to the new house, so they're not actually in too bad nick because they're not in my bedroom anymore, which is where they were previously. But you do get a little bit of dust around here, so you do need to kind of keep up with it. Is that Dalek the right colour? I think, because this is meant to be like the Assault Dalek, which was seen in, was it The Parting of the Ways? I think was the Series 1 finale in 2005. They were, I think, a slightly darker colour than their counterparts. So I think it is the right colour, but not the right colour for sort of the standard bronze Dalek. I think they were darker to kind of differentiate them. I could be remembering that completely wrong, but let's see. Right. So giving him a dust, we'll flick him onto the on mode. There we are. Scroll around there. Right, now, which of these are you? Neither, apparently. Neither of these remote controls are working. I might have taken the battery out of one of them. Yeah, okay, I can't test him that way, so we'll just have to do the old shop try me mode. And there's a little globe just down here. If I swim around that way, it's that one there. You can tell because it's a bit looser than the others. It moves a bit more. And if you press it, and that just tells you if he's working, and you can tell he sounds quite crisp and clear, so the batteries are okay. Now, unlike the 18-inch Daleks, the 12-inch ones are a bit more fiddly in terms of posing, because the only movement they've really got is like this head swivel, which works off the motion movement. So if he needs to turn his head for any reason, you kind of have to do it off screen, and that's why he never really moves. Never really moves on screen when it comes to head tilt. Any movement he does is done with the motors. You can kind of, if you're clever with the close-ups, so like if I'm doing something like this, I can kind of do a close-up of the eye stalk, and I've got him sort of moving down into a pose. You could just do it with your finger, but it doesn't look very good, so I tend to avoid doing any shots like that in these videos. But yeah, he kind of moves like that, and and annoyingly, it does mean you can't really have him straight on looking at you without his eye stalk being up. Except you can with a bit of clever camera work, because the neat thing about these 12-inch models is the centre section swivels. So I can achieve a straight on shot again with clever camera work. So if I sort of move this upwards, you can see kind of looks like he's facing me straight on, but I just cut out the lower half so it's not obvious that he's rotated. I must do a shot of him using the rotating middle section at some point, because it's great fun, and I didn't know it did it for years, and then about sort of 4 years ago I discovered that the middle section moved, and I was chuffed a bit, because I'm like, this opens up so many possibilities. And I know, I'm a sad kid. So yeah, it's a bit stiff, but that middle section there, and no one asked you. That middle section does move around about, well, quite well actually. It's kind of a 90-degree angle with the eye stalk. So it's about the same amount of movement as the head. So you can kind of do like a sideways look or a straight on look as well. And it looks quite neat, because in the show we've only ever seen them do it in Dalek. But that middle section was shown in Dalek that it could swivel kind of about 360 degrees, so it could face behind it and so on, and was really quite neat. But then they've never shown that feature again. So, yeah. Okay, so we know Donald's batteries are working. His controller isn't. I'm gonna pop that to one side for later maintenance. I'm sure you don't want to see me go through and change the batteries on all these remote controls, so I won't bore you with that. Right, let's move on to Donald. Now, Donald and the other classic Daleks are a bit of a pain with the remote controls for reasons that I'll explain in a moment. But we'll bring him over anyway. Come here, mate. Here he is. There's Donald. Now, I can't remember, it'll probably say on this who made them. Product Enterprise made these in 2002, so they're these models are a bit more basic than their modern counterparts. So again, they've kind of got the old head movement from which operates off the wheels, and then they do talk a little bit. But the lights don't light up. So every time you see a classic series Dalek on screen, like Donald here, in my videos, the lights are all animated slightly differently. So what I will do is I will do any movements that Donald has to do, and then any talking shots will be him static, and I will literally just get a lens flare effect, put it on the ear globes, and then kind of turn the opacity up and down depending on how he's speaking. So I have got a bit more control over how him talking looks, but unfortunately it does look really fake. So not my favourite thing to do while making videos. Again, that's kind of why I can't try and keep Donald off screen if I can avoid it. Not because I don't like him, I love his character. Now, I have no idea what's going on with the neck rings on these models, because it kind of looks like the neck ring is broken, because it's kind of a weird angle. I have 3 Daleks in different colour schemes that are based off this mould, and they all have that. All of them have that lifty up bit. So I can only assume it's part of the original model, and I have no idea why they did it like that. But, you know, it is what it is. I thought, because I think this was the first classic one I bought, and I have no idea why it does that. No idea at all. Did you have any annoying moments when you were making the Adventures of Derek and Matt? not annoying so much. It's difficult to try and, because I was living with my parents and my sister at the time, it was difficult to try and get the house to myself for any period. Pets getting in the way was a big one, but again, not an annoyance so much. You just had to be a bit patient and kind of work around them, because it's their house too, guys. So yeah, pets getting in shot kind of happened a bit. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's happened before as well. Darren's gun stick had a little bit of a break on it when he arrived, and you can see there it does. Swinging around, does kind of lift up a bit there. So he's a bit broken. I had glued it back in place, but if you're a bit rough with him, it does kind of pop off again. So I just have to dab a bit more glue on that. I might be able to do that right now. Got some glue. Right. Just put a little bit on the end of the paintbrush. And then probably just dab it on and stick, and that'll probably do the job. So a little bit of glue on the paintbrush there, then flicking it over this way, and just lift up this bit, dab the glue on there like that, so you get a little bit of stickiness going. You don't want to use too much, otherwise it'll look really obvious. And then just hold that down for a second. Now, the main thing while filming The Adventures of Derek and Matt was because it was like a big kind of epic story, unlike the sort of one-off sketches, was kind of having to go between different locations and filming everything like in one block. It took about 3 weeks of actually filming and editing to get to that stage, and then I released it sort of a month at a time, because it literally took me that long in between my job at the time to actually film and edit it. But yeah, the filming wasn't so much the problem. The filming was done in one block. Literally, it's kind of only a couple of locations, my garage at the time and my bedroom, with a couple of exterior shots, and that's it. So, you know, it was quite easy to just kind of move things around and just reset things. So that was yeah, it wasn't so much an annoyance as much as just really hard work. That took forever. It's kind of why I've not done a second series. I'd much prefer doing the one-off ones. I am planning a second series. There is like I will say this, if you ever get a series 2 of The Adventures of Derek and Matt, it will be kind of like a story finale for the Cult of Scratchwood. The one-off sketches are a lot easier to produce, so if I ever get round to doing The Adventures of Derek and Matt Series 2, that will be the end of the story. Because I've kind of got like a story arc planned out, which The Adventures of Derek and Matt, as a series of 4, like with the original, will conclude. So that's the idea anyway. But there's a lot more sketches and stuff to film as well, and kind of individual little sketches that carry on the story as well. But there is like a game plan. This is kind of like my Marvel Universe plan, if you will. That the final series of The Adventures of Derek and Matt will be series 2, and it will bring the story round to a nice, neat little close. But I might even make some sketches after that, but that will be like the end of the cult's main story, the second series. So that's a long way off yet. Might not even get made, I don't know. It depends on my budget and various other things. What are your favourite 3 Dalek episodes? Ooh. Right, well, I can't rank them within the 3, but if we're just doing new series, it would be Asylum of the Daleks, The Witch is Familiar, and Dalek. And I think I like the idea of kind of Daleks not acting like Daleks, so hence Dalek and Asylum of the Daleks. But the Witch's Familiar is nice because it kind of takes the story back to Skaro, and you see all the different Dalek designs, and it's a really nice little look, kind of Dalek life away from the conquests. So that's quite cool. Right, we finished dusting Donald off there, so let's see if this remote works. If it doesn't, I'll be very upset. And we're switched on, lovely. Okay. That does not work. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, they're a bit annoying, these controls, because it's literally a forward and back on each wheel. And it talks as it moves. I've just remembered it does light up, but it's red, and it only lights up when it moves. That's why I do it like I do. So that one lights up. I like this one. I like this one actually. No. Nope. Okay. So does it say what? No, it doesn't say what frequency he operates on. Yeah, they operate on a couple of different frequencies, so it's a bit hard to kind of test this one without knowing the batteries. Okay, might have to leave that one. Yeah, that one doesn't want to work. Okay. Near bother, we will refit batteries to those another time. And we'll give it a play. Unless this one's going to work. I don't think it will, because I think this is the one that I took the batteries out of. Yeah, that's the one I took the batteries out of. Not a problem. Right. So that is Donald all done. Can you have a Derek run around like Benny Hill? That would take way too long to edit, I suspect, but never mind. Okay. Right, put Donald back. Which one do we want to do next, folks? Where to choose from? I think we've done all the cult now, haven't we? So yeah, let's have a pick. Which one do you fancy? We've got the White Supreme one. We've got a couple of other new series Daleks. We've got Davros, a couple of the classic ones, and that's all the bigger ones. Or we've got my custom kind of Bluetooth Dalek we could have a look at. So yeah, let me know in the chat room what you fancy. Just got a text message, I think. There's literally nothing important. Yeah, nothing of interest there whatsoever. Do Dalek Sec, do the White Supreme. Okay, that's one vote each way. White Supreme, that's 2. Any other thoughts? Otherwise we'll do that one. White Supreme it is then. Let's do it. Okay. I don't think I've had this one out to play for a while. The cult in the videos I always get kind of taken out, and you know I do have a bit of a play while I'm not filming as well. But apart from that, the others don't really come out much. They're just display items, which isn't intentional, by the way. It just is how it happens. Yeah. I think most of these Daleks have appeared in videos, you know, either in the Asylum or in the cult itself. The Supreme definitely has appeared in the Asylum. Did like the Halloween Asylum 2 special. So yeah. White Supreme then Sec. Okay, we'll do that. See, this one isn't too bad to clean because it's mostly white all over. It doesn't attract the dust so much, so it's quite easy to kind of maintain. Well, there are some irritating little spots if I go into the close-up camera, where it's a bit more difficult. Like down here at the bottom of the base, you get a few. Is that just it's just like a dirt mark there, isn't it? Yeah. You have to get in there with the paintbrush. At the back here as well, you get a little bit of that. Yeah. So yeah, someone called this one Silver. I kind of like that name. This is the character of the new Dalek Paradigm Supreme, and he does have a part to play in the story of the cult. I will tell you that much. But I can't tell you any more because I will ruin the story completely. But yes, that little teaser you got at the end of the Adventures of Derek and Matt, that is intentional. That was not just a throwaway gag. That is going to be explored at some point. I'm not a huge fan of the colour schemes that we use for these Daleks, but I do like the White Supreme one because the design is quite cool. The only issue is on screen they look plastic. I really like the look overall. I like the nice chunky gun they've got, the chunky base. They look quite scary. I like kind of the angled thing. They're kind of like Daleks for the modern age, and so I do quite like them. It's a shame they weren't used more, but I agree with people that the colour schemes for the others were awful. But yes, I do like this white one, and I kind of like the almost organic look of the eye stalks as well. That's kind of a really neat little feature. Just gonna push that in. There we are. Okay. So again, this one not very dusty, so it doesn't need a lot of work. Have a bit of a play around, see if he works. Oh, no. That off, or I think his batteries have run out actually. That's a shame. There you go. Let me see if I can get in there. I might have a battery lying around somewhere. I've failed to bloody change the batteries in all of them. That would be really incompetent. Right. Let's bring the close-up camera around a bit so you can have a look at what I'm doing here. Spin that around a bit. So you just get a Phillips screwdriver. And well, that one might be a bit small actually. Okay. Need a slightly chunkier screwdriver. Not a problem. What the toolkit's for. Right. So we need probably that one. Probably do it. Nice one. Unscrewing, so we're going to go that way. Yeah. Unscrew the bottom here. I think. I took the batteries out. That's why. Yeah, I did this for some of these because I found that the batteries were leaking. So I did actually remove the batteries from a couple of them. So that would explain a lot. Right, okay, I've got some AA's somewhere. I'll fetch them out and we'll try them out to see if he's still working. Okay. I'll just unscrew the back of the remote here, just see if there's batteries in that too. If not, I'll go and get some. Nope, there is a battery in that one. Okay. Yeah. I don't like the buttons on this remote because that is the on and off switch. It is not obvious at all. whether or not they're in the on or off position. And I mean, I'm quite forgetful with the remote controls anyway, so that does not help me in the slightest. Right. I am going to disappear for just a moment and go fetch me a 4 AA batteries, and then we'll have a little play with this guy. BRB. I'm back. I've got the batteries. Right. Onto the close-up camera then. Right, so new batteries going in. There we go. I'm wondering actually if that might have been the issue with some of the other models. I really need to go through these properly at some point and do their batteries. Oh well, more content for this show. Right. There we go, that's working. Lovely. Back on there. Right. Always remember with screws, folks, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Unless it isn't. But that's the general rule of thumb. There we are. There we are. That's on tight. And stand them up. Lovely. Now I think, much like the others, this little guy works on the. Actually, you know what? Let's get out of the chair a minute. Slide down there. Let's pop him on the floor. I'll have a proper look at him doing that. Hold on. There we are. Can you all see that all right? There's a pile of dead remote controls there. Right. Let's lift up this little fella. Switch him into on mode. There we are. Let's have a proper look at you. Right then. Yeah, I quite like this one. The movement's quite fluid, and it's got some nice voice on it as well. He's a bit repetitive in the phrases, but I kind of like that. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the eye stalk there. It seems to be kind of jumping on and off. I wonder if it's a bit loose. That seems to have done it. thing we are discovering this evening, this floor is not conducive for the smaller Daleks to move around on. So that is the White Supreme. There we are. We're going to pop him away now. He's had enough of a field test for today. Say bye-bye, everyone. I will say I do like the eye stalk on these. You can't really see it with the light on there. But actually, if I turn the light out, you might get a better. Maybe not, it's a bit bright. But yeah, you can kind of see if I switch him off and you just look at the eye stalk without the light behind it. I do like this kind of organic look it's got going on. It's quite nice, that. I like that a lot. Anyway, so that's the Supreme. Right, which one did we say next? It was Dalek Sec, wasn't it? This one. Here we are. Right. Pop the remote back. We know that one's working. So let's do this one. Oh no, that's Davros' one. This fella maybe? Could be that one of these. Could be any one of these really. I'm going to switch him on, see if he works.
Or you will be exterminated.
Yep, he's working. Right, let's see if he... No, not this remote. This one, maybe? Nope. Maybe this one. Nope. None of the remotes working for that one. Okay. Oh dear. I fail at Dalek maintenance. Right. I remember when the Paradigm Daleks first came to Doctor Who, everyone in school was talking about them all day, and I brought my 5 Paradigm Daleks into school with my friend and his Dalek. Good times. See, I missed out on that because I wasn't in school when Doctor Who came back, so I didn't get like the schoolyard vibe from it, you know, which isn't too much of an issue, to be fair, but you know, I missed out on the comeback. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, so this is Dalek Sec, or
you will be exterminated.
Or in the Cultiverse, as we're calling it, the Cult of Scratchwood universe, he does have a different name, which I conveniently forget. So I'm going to have to look this one up. Hold on a minute. Because as I say, I have done some writing. I've got to be careful what I say here, which features all of the Daleks, certainly of the larger sizes, in the background there, and they do all have names. I'll just tell you what this one is. This one is what do you call him? Right. Sorry, whizzing through here. Right, yeah. This one is called Dalek Drell. And he is named specifically because he is a... I can't tell you why. I can't. No, I don't want to spoil anything. But no, this is Dalek Drell. And he is named that for a reason. And the reason is that he does play a rather important role in the story. Again, I can't tell you why, because it will spoil it. White Supreme Dalek's voice chip is mixed up. His voice is at the wrong pitch. Yeah. No, he's got... I think they kind of did the new Paradigm ones on the cheap. They're all exactly the same, except they just have different colours. Yeah. Done on the cheap. But never mind that. So yeah, this is Dalek Drell, and that is all the information you're getting out of me. I quite enjoyed this. No spoilers, please. No spoilers. You're only getting his name. His name is Dalek Drell. What's really fun for me is I've got the breakdown for the Adventures of Derek and Matt Series 2, which I wrote in... When was this document created? Let's have a look. I wrote this breakdown in March 2017? No, sorry, December 2017, because this was copied from the original and changed. Yeah, no, it's not a complete breakdown, but I have the kind of beginning and end in mind. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, this is Dalek Drell, and in the future, his role will be revealed. Yes. Dalek Drell sounds cool. Yes, he is cool. But... Oh god, how much can I give away? Nothing. I can't give away anything because it will ruin the carefully crafted story I've got in mind. Yep. All you're getting is his name, Dalek Drell. And he will show up at some point in the future of my show. But that's all I can say. I need to come up with new voices for them all as well. That's going to be the hardest part, with all the new characters that I bring in for our, like, I call it a season finale, but for Derek and Matt Series 2, we introduce a little group of new Dalek characters. And I'm going to have to come up with voices for them all. I've got a couple in mind for different ones based on how I've written their characters, but... yeah, one or two I'm not quite sure about. I mean, the White Supreme, when he eventually shows up, well, I'll just try and do an impression of the new Paradigm Supreme, I guess. But I'm not quite sure how that works, because I think it's a bit deeper and more gargly than the Red Supreme there. So, your Dalek series is the best. Thanks, Thomas. Okay. So... You were on test mode a minute ago and you were working. Come on, here we are.
Halt, or you will be exterminated. Multiple spectrum scanning now engaged. We are the supreme beings.
Yep, that's working.
Seek, locate, annihilate. You are an enemy of the Daleks. Obey the Daleks. No other warning will be given. Exterminate.
So we know that's working. Cool. So that is Dalek Drell. Right, we're going to do one more and then I'm going to have to wrap this up because it's a school night. I'm nearly past my bedtime. So which one do you want to see? We could do my custom one. We could do one of the other 12-inch ones. Or we can do Davros. Up to you, really. Whichever one you find most interesting. What do we think, folks? Let me know in the chat room. I didn't turn the music back up. There we are. That's playing again. Lovely. What is the history behind Britain and loving tea? I have no idea, to tell you the truth. It goes back to the days of the British Empire, I assume, and sort of visiting China and India and all that sort of region. But yeah, I've no idea what the obsession is, to be honest. I love tea, adore tea. Tea is great, so I like it from that point of view. But no idea why culturally it's such a thing. Just one of those things that we imported from across the world and everyone really liked. Kind of like coffee, I suppose. Do Davros next. Okay, we've got one vote for Davros. Any other thoughts? difficult decision. Yes, I agree. What about Davros? Would be cool to see him. 2 votes for Davros. I didn't say actually the Dalek that I used for Donald. I have to say that's the Genesis Dalek. We call it. It wasn't first featured in Genesis. I think they first featured that design in a John Pertwee story. I can't remember which one. But yeah, anyway, I really love that design. I think it's my favourite design from the classic series because they kind of look like little battle tanks. I really like that design. Davros, do your custom one. Davros, I think Davros is going to win by an overwhelming margin here, isn't he? Okay, we'll do Davros. Come on, mate, over you come. Come on, Lord and Creator of the Dalek race. He's got a little sombrero on, I've no idea why. I think I just put that there for a laugh. Anyway, swing this round. Let's have a look at Davros here. First question, have I got batteries in Davros?
Activate the holding cells.
Yes, I do. Excellent. Right. Next question, are there batteries in his remote? Let's see. Oh, god damn it. No batteries in the remote. Alright, fine. I need to order some more batteries. I'll have to wait till payday, I think. Right. Anyway, so here's Davros. You gonna say anything? Oh no, because that's the on mode.
Activate the holding cells.
Excuse me. Right. They are tanks. Yes, they are tanks. Exactly. Tanks for the memory. Right. Let's go to the close-up camera. So, here's Davros. He is the character options model based on the Julian Bleach version, first seen in The Stolen Earth. And he's a bit of a pain in the backside to clean, because as you can see, he's all fiddly bits and kind of down inside here. So you kind of just have to do him entirely with the paintbrush. When I first got him, all the headgear had kind of become detached and was a bit broken, but with the aid of some super glue I did manage to fix that, so it looks a lot better. He's got a movable arm there, which you can sort of move around a little bit and pose. Unfortunately, he is not really natural enough to... I think Rory's playing with a mouse on the trapdoor. Rory's my cat, for those of you who don't know. Anyway, so yeah. He's not the most natural looking thing in the world, because unlike the Daleks, who you can sort of make look a bit natural in their toy state, you can't really do that with Davros because he's got just like a solid plastic face. But that said, I don't know if I will end up using him on my YouTube channel for anything specific, but if I do, I've kind of got a little idea in mind for him. But it might be easier to do that one in an audio thing. I did plan on doing like a series of audio prequels for the cult at some point. I really should get around to doing that, because they were going to be a lot of fun. I just never got around to it. I don't know. Maybe one day. Anyway. So yeah, Davros here. Basically like the remote controlled Daleks, all the internal workings are pretty much the same.
This is my ultimate victory, Doctor. The destruction of reality itself.
No flashing lights to deal with on him, it's just... It's quite a detailed little model actually. You've got all the little controls here. None of them actually move or anything, which is kind of a shame, but that would be possibly a bit too much to do for the makers of the toys. But yeah, you've got all the little switches and things. And his hand does kind of come down so he can touch the buttons. I kind of pose him with his finger over that green button. Usually, there's not a lot of movement in the hand, I have to say. You can't really go much further than that green button. But it is a nice detailed model. And I do particularly like the look of the chair with the silver globes and everything. It looks quite neat. I think Davros's character design actually is really fab, you know, from the classic series especially, but the updated one is just as good. I love how they tried to stay as close to the original design as possible. I do really like the chair. I think someone, it might be Captain Jimmy Pie, did a custom model using 5-inch Davros chair and the top half of a Peter Capaldi Doctor doll, and they made like a custom with that scene from The Witch's Familiar, where the Doctor steals Davros's chair, which is quite good fun. I'm surprised they didn't make that into a toy, to be honest, because that would be great fun. When I was little, my granddad hated Davros shouting. He is a shouty little sod, isn't he?
The circle of time is closing. The end of the universe is come. You will suffer for this. You are the destroyer of worlds. Welcome to my new empire, Doctor.
Yeah, he kind of just says random stuff. He's yeah, it's all lines from that episode, I believe, but yeah, not a lot of variety, just ranty.
Davros, Lord and Creator of the Dalek race.
And I'm sorry, but the best actor to play Davros is, and always will be, Terry Malloy, who is fantastic.
Beware your pride. Why so shy? Activated the holding cells.
Yeah, I think that's all of his phrases there. So yeah, that's Davros. Sorry mate, tickling your nose there, am I? Aye. Oh, that's cruel. Fezzes are cool, yes. Right, where is his little sombrero? There it is. Yeah. Davros has just been on holiday. He's come back with a jaunty hat. He can't fit it on his head, sadly. Maybe that's why he's so cross that he can't wear a proper hat. Oh, I am bonkers, I know. Anyway. So, that's Davros. Right, let's pop him back in his box. Or on his shelf. Anyway, let's switch. I quite like how his eye and the little thing on his desk light up as well. Quite neat. Anyway. Come on, fella. Oh, you lost your hat. Not to worry. Just that over your globe there. Right. Set him back down there. Right. I have Terry Malloy's autograph. I am jealous, not gonna lie. He was fab as Davros. Do you know what? I'm feeling generous, so we'll have a little look at the custom Dalek as well. I'll just give him a bit of a clean up. It's not the neatest paint job, I will be perfectly honest. I've never been entirely happy with how this little guy turned out, but it does the job and it looks a lot better than the original. Actually, let me see if I can find a picture of the original online somewhere. Hold on. Bluetooth Dalek. Oh, it's got to be on here somewhere. Actually, I can find a video of it in action. That might be good. Smartphone Dalek. Because they were originally going to do one with the white Supreme Dalek, I believe. And then, you know, cut to budget and the like, we ended up with, I'll tell you what, here we are. There's a video here from the Pop Culture channel on YouTube. Let me see if I can get that playing. 1 second. We'll switch over. In theory, you should all be able to see this when I switch over to it. So, here we go. This is a video from the popculture.com channel on YouTube. And this shows what the Dalek originally looked like. So, you know, it's quite neat from the point of view of, you know, it's it's quite interesting technology, you know. And it is a Bluetooth speaker, so you can put your music through it. But the thing that always bothered me about it was it's very plastic looking. You know, all the different bits and bobs on it, just very plastic. It's all like the gun stick is clear, the sucker arm is clear. It just feels very cheap and nasty looking, and it looks just, yeah. I wasn't really a fan of how that looked, I have to be honest. I thought it was a cool little toy, but didn't really hit the spot for me. I don't see the video. Did I not switch over? Okay, interesting. Alright, well, let me see if I can switch back to it here. Hold on a moment. Yeah. Can we see now? No, we can't. Okay, that's interesting. Desktop not available. Okay, there we go. Let's try that again. Right. Apologies for that. Fail bell. There we are. You should be able to see it now. So you've got like the Dalek here, which is the Bluetooth Dalek, and this is what my one originally looked like. It's kind of got the clear plastic stuff going on. And like I say, it's a neat little thing. I'll just slide back to you now, another look. It's a neat little thing, but it just looks cheap, and I'm not a fan of the colour scheme and what have you. So what I decided to do, quite early on into owning this one, is that I would paint it up and just make it look a little better. And like I said, I've never been entirely happy with the result because it doesn't look spot on, but it looks all right. I quite like it. So let's have a little look. You can see underneath it's kept the original colour scheme there, but we can't have everything. How do you turn this thing on? I don't ever remember. One of these, I think. God damn it, I can't remember. Ah, there we are, it's this one. Press and hold that, there we go. And on he comes, right. So he's got kind of a little flashing light there, and what you do is there's a little app on your phone which works from Bluetooth. So if we open that up, shut up. Oh, don't tell me the app doesn't work anymore. I'll be gutted if that's the case. Oh no, come on. Okay, well that is extremely annoying, if that's the case. Oh, goodness me. I did not know that. I think they've got rid of the app. It doesn't seem to work anymore. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work anymore. Hold on, let's go back to Google, have a little look. It's not on Google Play, which is a little irritating. Hold on a minute. Bluetooth Dalek app. DR263. That's going to be one of these where I have to go and find it from elsewhere, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that's really annoying, that. I might have to do this another time then. If I can't find it quick, like. Hold on a second, can I... Actually, I think, can I share that with my phone? I'm sure I can. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, I think they must have taken the app off. That's annoying. Anyway, fail bell for the makers of that. How do you make custom Daleks? Well, I made this one. Literally, I painted him up with the dark red colour, and I wanted it to kind of look a bit like the Daleks in Asylum of the Daleks in the Parliament. They had some of the new series design in this colour scheme with like a dark red colour and silver globes. So I kind of went for that. I used red paint, silver paint, and black paint. Like I said, it looks a bit rough and ready, so I'm not entirely a fan of how it turned out, but it looks all right. You know, you kind of get the gist, and it looks a lot better than the plastic one. If I was doing it again, I would probably... Okay, a bit gobby. If I was doing it again, I would probably spray paint it rather than do it by hand. So I'd mask off all the various bits and do it like that. Oh. Okay, that's weird. That is really weird. It's gone off and started talking to itself. What? How is it doing that? It's freaky. I don't like that. Oh dear. Okay. That's weird. It's very weird. What's the best paint to use for custom Daleks? Anything that you can get from like a modelling shop or anything like that should do it. I can't quite remember what type of paint I use for this. I might have some left over. Hold on. I think if I remember, the red and the black were paint, and then the silver globes and the like. I actually used a mixture of a silver paint and a pen, like a silver paint pen. So I may have done that. Yeah, here we are. We've got the original paints here. So these were made by a company called Umbral, and they're like acrylic paint. So that's the red that I used there. The silver there that I used for the gun stick and the eye stalk and the manipulator arm, and the black there, which is like a matte black. The other thing I do is use a more glossy black next time because I don't like how the matte black turned out. But again, yeah, it's rough and ready, but I think it looks a lot better than how it looked before. So, you know, I'm a fan of it from that reason. So, is that working? Yes, I would like to install this application, please. That seems to have worked. Now, will it actually open the app? That's the question. Oh, god damn. I don't think this app works anymore, which is really irritating. Hang on, will it work from my tablet? That's a possibility. This is an older version of Android, it might actually work on this. Just amuse yourselves for a minute, folks. Oh, bad at this. Right. What's it called? DR263. I'll look for some paints. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, that's good. Go for it, mate. Yeah, and let us know how it goes. You know, I love seeing people doing stuff like this. Captain Jimmy Pie is one of my favourite YouTubers for this sort of thing. He's well worth a watch if you don't follow him. There we are. Phone is not allowed to install things from an unknown source. Yes, I know that, but yes, I'm going to make an exception this once, please. Thank you very much. If I can get this working from my tablet, I'll be reasonably happy, but... Yeah. Settings. Apps. Allow from this source. Yeah, that's fine. Install. Yeah. Go for it. My tablet uses an older version of Android, so I'm hoping it will actually work, but you know, don't hold your breath.
But once we agreed to break up like Bunny MC has a boyfriend that underachieved. I wanted to be the man in the booth, met with yo in the pipe. That's so hot for the beach, but it's not.
That does appear to actually be working.
I just want to be free. By the time of my life, I'm just not gonna see.
Hold on a minute. Let's just pause the music a second and unplug this bad boy. Hold on. Yeah, it looks like it does work from the tablet. Sweet. Oh, neat. Start. I forgot that this made a lot of irritating noises. Hold on. Now, how do you... Hold on a minute, there we are. Right, got it there. I can't remember how you actually connect it to the Dalek. I think... I might just do it directly. Ah, no, you've got to connect your phone. Oh yeah, the app made so many irritating noises. I remember now. There we are, Dalek pairing. There we are. So we'll hopefully be able to see him do a little bit of moving around. There we are. Connected for call and media audio. Great. So one neat thing you can do is I've unplugged Spotify. So if I was to go and play one of Screw Love songs now, it's coming out of the Dalek. Now it doesn't sound great, but it is in there. But yeah, so that's quite neat. So if we go back to the app, we might be able to actually drive the thing now. So let's go to the close-up camera. What's your favourite Doctors? It's a toss-up between Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. Love both of them. Right, here we are. Joystick control. Right. There we go, he is working. Okay, so... He's a bit... Yeah, it's a bit dodgy, but it does sort of want to work. Hold on a minute. Exterminate! Yeah, it's not great, this, to be honest. I can almost get it moving from the app, but it's not spot on by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, this was a neat idea, but not terribly well executed, I have to say. Possibly why the app doesn't exist anymore, that it doesn't do very much. It does have an auto mode, which it will do quite happily. There we are. There we go. He's moving around of his own accord there. Mainly in circles. In my head canon, this little fella is just all about the circles. So let's have a look underneath, just make sure. Are both of his wheels turning? One of his wheels was stuck. That might explain it. Oh. Don't disintegrate me, mate. Anyway, right, let's go back to the joystick control. That might work better now. No. Oh, nearly fell off the desk. Yeah, he's much happier in autonomous mode than he is in remote control. Yeah. Come on. Where are you going? Where are you going, mate? Back here, come on. Say hello to the nice people. God, he's a moody little sod, isn't he? His head does move around as well, allegedly, but he doesn't seem to be wanting to do it today. There we go. Anyway. Well, on that note, it's, yeah, he is a hyperactive little sod. I think we've heard quite enough from you today, mister. There we are. Switching off. Oh, wow. Yeah. The smartphone Dalek, one of those things, good idea, poor execution. Like I say, never been 100% happy with the custom paint job I did. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it looks much better than it did. And it was a learning experience. I actually did this one after I did Dalek Monty, which was easier because bigger scale. So, yeah. That is my custom smartphone Dalek, who's a hyperactive little sod. Let's put him back over here. Right. It's getting late, folks, so I think we are going to call it a night there. I'm going to try and do another one of these at some point, maybe on Sunday during the day, but I'll let you know a bit nearer the time. In the meantime, thank you very, very much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you next time for another instalment of Live from the Workshop. Take care, and good night. Bye!